This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth, and it's that time of year again, my friends. As you can tell by the title of this video, the annual Bilderberg meeting for 2026 is going to be held in just a few days from now in Washington, D.C. from April 10th, 11th, and 12th, and I intend to be there to provide the kind of coverage that you've come to love and expect from Press for Truth at Bilderberg. Now, for anybody who's watching this who may be a new viewer and might not be familiar with what Bilderberg is, this is a meeting, a very secretive meeting. It's about 120 people on average, and we're talking about some of the world's most powerful and influential people. Presidents and prime ministers, kings and queens, media moguls, military men, heads of finance, you name it. The guys who are truly pulling the strings on world-shaping events meet in secret every single year, and this year they are meeting in Washington, D.C. Now, I gotta say, it's a little bit odd that they're meeting in April. This meeting is typically held in June. Pretty much every year it's held in June, very late May or early to mid-June. And the last time it was held in April was way back in 1993 at the Greece meeting. So this is very out of the ordinary. This is very strange, and it makes me wonder if it has to do with the fact that the Secretary of NATO, Mark Rutte, is heading to Washington for what looks to be like emergency meetings to discuss Donald Trump's potential withdrawal from NATO and the fact that Trump has launched Operation Epic Fury and we have this ongoing war in Iran. Is this a bit of an emergency meeting being called with top Bilderberg insiders in order to deal with the current situation? And that's what it seems to be. So this very well could be the most important Bilderberg that I have covered in the 20 years that I have been covering Bilderberg, guys. So I'm gonna need your help with this one. I have set up this Go Get Funding campaign, which, as you can see here, it says the 2026 Bilderberg meeting is being held in Washington, D.C. in just a few days from now, and Press for Truth will be there to provide the extensive coverage you've come to expect from PFT. At last year's meeting in Stockholm, Sweden, I got an up-close and personal confrontation with Peter Thiel about his Epstein connections 8 months before the release of 3.5 million pages in February of 2026, which highlighted over 2,200 references to Thiel. I also confronted him about his company Palantir and the fact that he is using it as a surveillance tool to spy on the American people and the people of the world. If you haven't seen that confrontation, check it out now because it was a doozy. Here it is. Mr. Thiel, do you have any comments about Palantir's surveillance of the American people, sir? Or any of your connections to Jeffrey Epstein? I think people are rather concerned about that last particular one. You're setting up a Big Brother surveillance system, and people know it, sir. Do you think the American people want this surveillance tech being used against them? Any comments at all on the Epstein connections? You were meeting with them. People are waking up to what you're doing there, sir. That's why we're here covering this. Wow, Peter Thiel was booking it. That man picked up the pace. The second the word Epstein came out, it seemed he started getting a little faster. But stone cold Peter Thiel. Of course, co-founded Palantir with Alex Karp, who is still here. And these are the guys who are setting up the Big Brother surveillance system, essentially to track, trace, and database everyone Not just Americans, you may have heard me say that, but literally everyone. And that's a big reason part of the reason why he is here. There is a lot of heavy kind of tech representation here and military men who are preparing for something. So Peter Thiel in the house. So again, that was at last year's meeting in Stockholm, Sweden. And the year just prior to that, in Madrid, Spain, I also managed to correctly predict that Mark Carney was eyeing the position of Prime Minister, and that he would be the next Prime Minister if Bilderberg would allow it. I said this 7 months before he officially announced his candidacy for the leadership of the Liberal Party, and now obviously Mark Carney is officially Canada's Prime Minister. So if you haven't seen that one, here's a brief clip as well. Check it out. Stephen Harper attended the meetings in 2003, and then just 2 years later, this relatively unknown man became the Prime Minister of Canada. And in case you didn't know, Mark Carney was the governor of the Bank of Canada from 2008 to 2013, and he was also the governor of the Bank of England from 2013 to 2020. It seems that his next venture in life may be politics, as he seems to be looking for the position of Prime Minister of Canada, if, of course, these guys are going to allow it. Again, that was 7 months before Mark Carney even announced that he was going to be running for the Liberal leadership, which kind of de facto made him Prime Minister once Justin Trudeau resigned. Now that was, again, is just a couple of things that have happened in just the last few years, but as I said, I've been covering this conference for 20 years now. I first covered it in Ottawa in 2006. Here I am, just a young 26-year-old, not 46 like I am today, covering it. And since then, it's been a whirlwind of adventures. I've been detained dozens of times by the police. I've been arrested and thrown in jail at the Copenhagen meeting in Denmark. I had the German police attempt to sue me for showing their faces in my videos. And I even made a full-length feature documentary film out of my 2012 coverage in Chantilly, Virginia, called The Turning Point. So it's been a pretty wild ride over the last 20 years of covering this. In fact, just a few years ago, a number of years back now actually, I threw together this quick little montage to show you some of the more intense situations that I found myself in after covering Bilderberg for a number of years. Check it out. Over here, over here, over here. Get your pictures ready. Remember us? All right, guys, so we are inside the hotel here, currently at Bilderberg. You attended a conference, and I'm curious as to your opinions about the organization, and that is the Bilderberg Group. What sorts of things were discussed when you were there, and what do you think of Bilderberg?
Well, one of the rules of Bilderberg is that everything is private and off the record. So that's what I think of it.
Okay. Mr. Wolfenson, how was Bilderberg this year, sir?
I wasn't there.
You weren't there? What was on the agenda this year?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
It's very secret.
Very secretive?
You guys have to stay here until the police arrive.
Yeah,
and then we can,
the police will
then
arrive
we
and
can
then
straighten this
everything
one
will be
out.
okay.
For what? You're detaining me?
There's not going to be a problem.
You guys don't have the authority to do this.
I have here.
No, you don't. I'm not sure if you remember me or not. I met you a few years ago, and you kindly signed your book for me, and in exchange I gave you a copy of one of my documentary films. Can you tell us, I'm just curious, because every time we ask somebody, it's so secretive. Why does nobody talk about it? It's really, really secret organization. You don't know?
But then you're escalating this on purpose.
No, I'm not.
I know who you
listen,
are.
we're trying.
And
You know who I
I know
am?
what you do, yes.
How do you know who I am and what I do? What do I do?
Because you're filming me right now. Daniel, you are going to stay here until the police arrive. That is your only option.
Really?
It is, yes.
You have to respect the private law and the privacy, no matter if it's a police officer or if it is a private person.
Did the police officers respect the privacy of some of the journalists when they came to their hotels and took down their information?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just left the hotel. It's eerily quiet. There's absolutely nobody around here. I'm pretty sure we're the only people staying at the hotel right now. That's right. He just said there's only 3 people at the hotel, and that's me, Luke, and Jeff.
What do you use the pictures for?
News.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. And to expose these guys for what they're doing.
Expose them.
Yes. Well, you're public figures now when you attend something like Bilderberg. This is kind of what comes with the territory now.
According to you.
No, I think you'll see it if you attend more. I would encourage you not to, though. From what I heard, there's some nefarious things that go on. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're up to anything nefarious at all, but...
I can show you right now.
Okay.
Yes, now.
Alright.
Yes, it was the hotel at the Yes, yeah.
Hey, easy.
Go. Yes, now. Hey!
So, needless to say, you never really know what's going to happen when you cover a Bilderberg conference. And with this one coming up in April, again, which is odd, in just a few days from now in Washington, D.C., this could be by far the most important Bilderberg that I have ever covered. So again, I'm going to need your guys' help, you, the viewers. If you want to pitch in and contribute, you can check that link for the Go Get Funding campaign. Your contribution is going to help me with flights and hotels and travel back and forth to the Bilderberg Hotel, food costs. I'm going regardless. I've already booked my trip. I'm already in the hole for about $2,500, so I'm hoping to raise at least that. But either way, I am going. But if you do appreciate my efforts to, again, expose some of the most powerful and influential people in the world who are truly pulling the strings on world-shaping events, I would ask that you please consider making a contribution at that Go Get Funding campaign. It's the top link in the description below. I have to say thank you so much to anybody who does contribute. It's only because of people like you who make it possible for people like me to do this kind of stuff. I mean, Bilderberg is pretty much the top of the peak of the pyramid here. Like, a lot of people think that the WEF meetings in Davos is the big meeting of the minds of the global elite. Well, on the mainstream stage it is, but behind the scenes, Bilderberg is where the real major things happen. And again, we've got the Secretary of General of NATO meeting in Washington at the same time that he's dealing with the Trump issue and Epic Fury and the war in Iran, and it's happening in April. It really does seem like this one is out of the ordinary. This one is going to be huge. So again, I'm really counting on you guys to help me cover this one. So please check that top link in the description below. But either way, I will be there. I'm heading out on Wednesday, and just wanted to bring that to your attention. So thank you so much for any of the viewers who have been watching over the last 20 years. As you saw, there's been some pretty wild moments of covering this particular event. I don't know what to expect in a few days from now, but I will be there, boots on the ground, to provide you with the kind of coverage that you've come to love and expect from Press for Truth at Bilderberg. So once again, please check that top link in the description below to where you can find that Go Get Funding campaign. Any contribution is greatly appreciated. $5, $10, $20, whatever is within your means is really going to help me to do the best possible job I can do out there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for my upcoming coverage at Bilderberg 2026 in Washington, D.C. I'll have videos coming out very, very soon. And just wanted to bring all that to your attention. Thank you again so much. And stay tuned for my coverage coming very soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.